Hi guys, today I'm back with another layout using the January 2014 Scraptastic Kit, and this time I'm going to be doing an 8.5 by 11 layout. I cut my pictures down to 3 by 3, and I thought the 8.5 by 11 would just be a little bit better for this layout. So you're going to see post-it notes on my pictures, and then later on you're going to see me remove those. This is of my nephew and my sister-in-law, and I just wasn't sure if they were going to be okay with me putting their faces on YouTube, but I talked to my sister-in-law and she said it was good, so those little post-it notes will be removed. And then what I just did while I was talking about the pictures is I cut out the rest of the flowers from that paper that came in the January 2014 Scraptastic Kit. And I've used those flowers a lot. And I just cutting them out and stuff and using them as embellishments. I just love them. And I love cutting them out. Fussy cutting is actually one of my favorite things to do. So that's what I did. And here I'm just trying to figure out what paper layers I want to put down. And I tried the one paper that has kind of the herringbone kind of lines going in either direction in a diagonal pattern with those little dots, but I didn't really like how it looked. So I'm going to stick with just this bottom piece down here. And then I'm going to try to figure out how I want to layer up my pictures with these flowers that I cut out. So I'm going to mess with that just for a little bit, trying to figure out kind of what I want to do. And I'm going to stare at it a lot in this video. I did cut out some of it, some of the stuff that was extra, just because I didn't want to bore you with watching me sit here and stare at my layout. So right now I'm just trying to figure out how I want to set this down. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this weathered wood distress marker and ink around, or not mark, ink, excuse me, mark all around the edges, put a border all around the edges of my paper. And I just like the color, and the color gray, that's that weathered wood, really looks nice with the flowers and the color that are in the flowers. So I just like how it adds a little bit of pop of color, and it kind of brings your eye in towards the page. So now I'm picking two of the Lindy Stamp Gang mists out to mist on the page, and I'm going to show you them in just a second. I believe the one is a bit bubbly, and then the other one is the fuzzy navel peach, or actually no, sorry, fuzzy navel peach and cocklebell corals. So I'm just going to mist that, and I tried misting it on the back first just to see if that's something I kind of like, and I did like that, so I'm going to then mist all over the page with both of these. It's a very, one of them is a very subtle color. The fuzzy navel peach is very subtle, and then the cocklebell corals is a little bit more dark, but I think it looked well and matched well with the flowers. So now I'm just going to glue everything down, and I had some difficulties with my ATG gun, but I fixed that, and now I'm just gluing everything down to the page. And I apologize, this little chunk of the video is a little bit blurry, so just please bear with me. That will actually get better soon, but it is going to take a little bit of time for it to get better. I'm going to mess with the flowers, and normally I try to fix the focus, but I'm wondering if I got close to the camera and then when I came back down it just didn't refocus, so I'm sorry about that. So real quick, while this is going on, I'll tell you a little bit about the pictures. This is of my nephew and my sister-in-law after my nephew's play. He was in a play at school called Noise is Off, and it was such a great play. They did such a great job. It was so funny. We went to the opening night, I believe it was opening night, and we took my daughter and my husband went, and it was fun to watch him. He was, I'm not sure what the name of the character that he played, but he played like a handyman type character. And the play was just so funny. He's in high school, and I was just really impressed with the with the what's it called, the professionalism of the cast. So it was great. So I had a great time. Shelby, my daughter, enjoyed it very much too. So it was fun. And then after the video, or I'm sorry, after the play, we all got together afterwards and got some pictures taken. And I thought this was a really sweet group of pictures of my sister-in-law and my nephew. So anyway, excuse me. So after I lay all this down and I figure out kind of where I want everything, I'm going to end up mounting the pictures on this gray cardstock. I felt like they just needed a little extra color, and that gray matches really well with the grays that are in the flower paper. So I'm going to do that and mount that, and now finally the focus is back. So again, I apologize for that being, all yucky for a while. So like I said, I'm just putting everything down, and I've been having the worst problem with this ATG roll. I need to figure out a better way to do it. I've had this cheaper rolls that I got, and I've had some problems with it, not too bad. It actually, the rolls that I get here, I think they're from Frame Supply or something very similar to that. Um, I have been having problems with the roll a little bit, but not like too terribly much. My biggest complaint about it actually is how well it like comes off the roll. So when you like roll it, sometimes it doesn't come off real nice, and that's probably my biggest complaint. Otherwise, the nice thing about the Framing Supply kind of tape is that it's a little bit more, in a way, removable. If I use the 3M ATG that you get like at Michael's, the acid-free kind, I have a heck of a time getting my stuff off the layout. So it is like crazy permanent. So I do kind of like this kind for that reason, is that if I need to, I can pull things up most of the time. But so I kind of have it's my love-hate relationship with those, the cheaper tape. Now I'm just taking the Stampin' Up! Dimensionals, and I wanted a lot of dimension to be in the flowers, so I'm just popping up little pieces here and there just to give it more dimension, so that when I put it in the page protector, it doesn't fall off the page. And I thought that made it look a lot better. So now that I got that all figured out, I'm going to start working on the rest of the layout, and the next thing is going to be the title. And I'm using the thickers and the skinnier Jelly Bean soup letters that came in the kit, and then I'm going to add in some October Afternoon Daily Flash font as well. And my title is going to be Sardines, 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 because in the play there was like a housekeeper person, and she kept trying to relax and eat her plate of sardines and read the newspaper. So she just kept saying sardines, 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 in a much better accent than me. She was doing like a British accent, and it was just such a fun play. I really enjoyed it. This is actually the second play that I was able to see that my nephew was in, and both of them were just super good. But this is probably my favorite of the two. So I'm so glad that we were able to go, and I can't wait to see another one of his plays, hopefully soon. He's a good actor. He did a good job in the play. I'm really proud of him. So here I'm just adding those daily flash stickers down, and you're not going to see it in the layout, but I believe the pictures will show it. I added some stitching over all three of the sardines words, and I used a pink thread, so that's the stitching that I did, the only stitching I did on the page. I didn't actually add any additional stitching, but I did stitch over the letters. My battery, or my room on my phone camera ran out, so I needed to do that after the camera, and I just didn't have time to download everything to my computer before I did that sewing. So you didn't miss a whole lot, but because you're going to see them in the pictures, and I don't actually videotape the sewing process itself anyway. So anyway, I'm just going to line all these up, and I think pretty soon you're going to see my cat Denali getting in the way. I tried putting him down once, and then he comes back, so I think that's coming up real soon here. So sometimes these stickers are kind of hard to use, so I end up using my little tweezers, and it makes it so much easier. And then I'm using that glue bottle. It's called the Fine Line Applicator, and that's the one that I got from Hobby Lobby. You can also get them on Amazon. So here, this is after I try to get him down. He's back, and I'm just going to let him run around. He's going to mess with some of my stuff, and he was being a real big butthead on this on this video. After he came up here and was messing around, he kept going into my scrapbooking stuff. I have like one of those little embellishment tree type things, and he kept going over there and like playing with them and knocking everything down. And so now I have a big pile of stickers and things that he keeps knocking down, that I just gave up and didn't put it back, because I think I've put them back like 3 times. So anyway, I just finished gluing all that stuff down, and now I'm going to add some of the extra embellishments, and pretty much everything that I'm going to put, I think everything I put, except for some homemade enamel dots, are from the January kit. So I'm just added those heart pieces of cork, and then I'm going to try adding this cork arrow, but then I'm going to end up taking it off and changing it up with something else. So that's going to come off in just a few minutes. And now I'm just going to figure out what else to put down. I'm going to end up using some of these arrows. I have 1 pink and 2 gray that I'm going to use in the different clusters. And I'm just going to add those around the page. I really like the dimension and kind of the shine that it gives, and I like the combination that they're like a wood and kind of epoxy. So I really think those are cool. And I've been using those on a lot of the layouts I've been doing. This happy comes from the sticker sheet. It's from Teresa Collins. When they shipped it, they cut off some of the label, but I believe it's the Life Emporium collection, and I believe it's Teresa Collins. And so I'm adding those on, that like sticker in the top left by the title, the happy, and then I add that memory number with a blank space under the sardine, sardine, sardines. Now I'm just putting in some other final touches. I put that number 2 because there's 2 of them, and I thought I needed to use these numbers up, and I've been having some difficulties with that, so I thought this would be perfect. And then I'm trying to figure out another place to put some wood grain, but I'm going to end up bypassing that and moving on. I tried a couple different other things, and I don't like it, but now I'm going to add that vellum ampersand. This heart does not work. I tried in a couple different places, and it just doesn't go. Again, I have problems sometimes using these vellum pieces and with the pattern papers and stuff showing through. I feel like sometimes I just get lost in the page, and I have to use them in places where the background is either solid or a lot more muted. So here I'm going to add these glasses. I thought they were perfect. I didn't know when I was going to ever use these glasses, but my nephew has glasses that are like the dark rimmed glasses, and I thought it would be perfect to add that into the piece here. Excuse me. And I'm going to try a couple other things, and I think that's about all that I'm going to put down. I'm going to try other things, but I'm going to end up pretty much sticking with this. The last thing I think I do is add this tab. I'm going to end up actually adding it to the top photo and putting it kind of on the left hand side. But first I'm going to trim it down a little bit and add the date on it. I thought there was just a little bit too much blue. It was a little bit too much sticking out. So I'm going to switch that with a little bit skinnier piece. And I'm just trimming that up, and like I said, I'm going to stamp it. I'm going to use the basic gray Stampin' Up ink for this, and my basic gray Stampin' Up ink is kind of dry. I need to actually call Stampin' Up. I haven't had the pad for very long. I'm going to see if they can actually help me out with something, because like I said, I didn't have it for very long. If nothing else, I'll just order a re-inker because I really do like that basic gray color. So I'm just going to add that tab there with the date on it, and then I'm going to start gluing down all of my other embellishments, and I'm going to add a number to that memory number, and I just picked a random number. That doesn't mean anything. I just put 104. I thought that was a good number. I don't know. That's the first thing I thought of, so that's what I put down. And like I said, I'm just going to glue everything down. I'm going to use my Xyron adhesive sticker maker for the vellum pieces, that glasses and the ampersand. And so that's all going to get stuck down. Excuse me. I have a frog in my throat, and ever since I lost my voice and had that cold last week, it just kind of still gets to me in my head. So I apologize for my clearing of my throat. But after I do all this, I'm going to end up grabbing some homemade enamel dots, and I'm going to be putting them around the layout. So that will be what's coming up next. And I've been trying to be real good about cleaning up my desk as I go, because I can't stand to have all that stuff, and I don't have a whole lot of room. I have a lot of stuff on my desk, like all of my mists and everything. So I don't have a lot of room to have a mess, because it just doesn't fit. So I try to clean that up as I go, so I don't have to deal with all that, because it just gets a little bit overwhelming, and then I don't have any room. Plus, I feel like it's doing videos and things. It gets kind of messy and cluttered, and you guys don't want to see a bunch of mess all over my desk while I do this. So these are the homemade enamel dots I have. Some of the enamel dots I cut in half before I made them with the perler beads. So the little blue ones I'm putting on are like the half size beads, and then the black and the gray are like a full size bead. So I'm just finding out where I want to put those in the layout, and then I usually use glue dots to stick them down, because I found that any of the other adhesives I've used, even glossy accents, it seems like the enamel dots just pop right off the page. So I found that glue dots work probably the best of all the adhesives, at least for me. I have seen other people using different adhesives, but I've just not had as much luck with anything else. So another one that I might want to try sometime is maybe like a PVA glue, because that's kind of got a little bit of a give to it. It's not like a stiff glue. At least from my experience. So that might be another good thing I could try. But for right now, the glue dots work. It's nice, and then you don't have to wait for them to dry. They're automatically stuck to the page once they once you stick them down. So thank you so much for joining me. I just wanted to say thank you for all my new subscribers, and if you haven't already checked out my video for my 100 subscribers, please do so. It's a couple videos back for your chance to win. It's open till March 18th. Thanks so much. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.